property management. Now, this is something that from a limited partnership side, I always looked at. The reason why I always looked at it is because 9 out of 10 deals that I've gone bad on me or I've gone bad on an investor that I know, the number one reason they would blame is property management. Number one reason. So what do you guys, let's go with Jared. What is your philosophy on property management? I kind of know the answer, but let's get your take on it. First party, third party property management. What are some of the culture that you try to bring in to property management? Let me hear it, Jared.
I've used the third party property manager before, but I think what I was looking for wasn't out there, and I ended up building it for myself, and that's what my work is these days. So it's not third party, but I'm building the management product that I've wanted, that I got to see as a hands-on mom and pop operation. I saw kind of, what you lost out on with third party. So I'm trying to build my ideal management, but my management philosophy generally is pretty long-term. It's generally pretty conservative, and I was mentioning the golden rule, as they call it, treating people how you'd like to be treated. It's really not. It kind of sounds cliche, but I would say that it's not necessary. It doesn't have to be an altruistic approach. It's that if you take a long-term, usually when you're taking a steady path and you really are trying to treat residents, trying to treat everyone you deal with the way that you'd like to be treated, a lot of times there might be a short-term profitability opportunity that you miss out on. But I would argue that long-term, it is more profitable. I would also argue that the longer-term management outlook, you can weather a lot more storms, because this is affordable housing. There's no reason to believe that the demand for this is going to disappear. So position yourself long-term, not planning for an immediate exit or a 3-year exit where you're looking at interest rate risks. You're looking at so many risks you can't even account for them all. So I'd say it's quality over quantity, long-term approach.
So Fabio, before I jump into your answer on that one, so a couple of quick questions, Jared, from what you just said, because I don't want to forget them. What was the major difference that you saw from mom and pop operator to that large third party? Because that large third party was like one of the biggest in the country, right? So what was the biggest difference you saw between the two?
Third party, you do much less work. It's like hitting singles, which is you can hit singles. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with that. You're hitting singles. You're getting passing grades on your property. But maybe it's some of my control issues, but I think I wanted higher quality tenant relations, just more profitability on home sales. I wanted to get the juice out of my the lemon. So that was my preference. So I don't think you can get that. I think that there's just some trade-offs that I saw at that scale. So yeah, I work more than a lot more because I'm hands-on with my management. That I think is the biggest difference.
Got it. Okay, Fabio. Jared, I do have another question for you afterwards, but I want Fabio's take on property management.
So we self-manage, and we're kind of going through some growing pains right now where we're starting to become not as mom and pop, a little bit more professional. But I think at the end of the day, your tenants respond to people who care. And a third party property management company, how much they care or finding one that actually cares is very unlikely. And walking through the park that we just acquired today with the sellers, maybe they were a little bit too much on the extreme where they cared too much. They had too much of a good relationship with their tenants, but every single tenant I met told me how much they love living in this community. And a big part of that is because they care. And as a more modern day, owner, operator, manager, it's your job to balance being streamlined, being efficient, managing the P&L and squeezing the juice, while also caring about your community, caring about your tenants, and making sure that you are doing the right thing long term, and maximizing the value not just for yourself but for your residents as well.